I'm Danny Tao, and these are 3 tips for the program planning process. So, tip number 1, and what usually the first step is, figure out what the program you want to plan is. Come up with a theme. Some programs that I've planned in the past have been a minute to win it program, so all the activities were like minute to win it activities. I've done a Nickelodeon program where all the activities were based around different Nickelodeon shows like Avatar and SpongeBob and iCarly. So a program idea like that is really important to have at first because without an idea, you don't have a program. The next step in the program planning process, once you've talked to the Sagan and you have a program slot, is start branching out. So you know that you're going to have, your icebreaker in the beginning, probably, and your Havdalah in the beginning. That's the general format, although you don't necessarily have to stick to it. And at the end, you're going to want to have a post-program discussion to see how the program went. So realistically, in that block, you're going to have about an hour and a half to an hour 45 of program time. So you need to figure out, okay, are we going to do 3 stations where people rotate and they're there for 20 minutes each and then a closing activity? Or are we going to start at one big group activity and then we're going to split into discussion groups? You really need to figure out the structure of your program so that you can then base your activities around that. The third step in the program planning process, and this is a super important step, is making sure you have an outline with all of the details written out. So in this outline, you should be saying 7 to 7:15, icebreaker, 7:15 to 7:30, Havdalah. So you've got everything timed out. You've got your materials written out. And there should be a form with all of the, with a template for what you need to do. But it's really important that you fill this out as detailed as possible because on the night of the program, having as much detail on your outline is going to be helpful for you. And the last step I have for the program planning process is be ready to improvise. As much as you can detail and plan out your program, it's not going to go perfect. Something is going to need to be changed on the night of, and you need to be ready to improvise. Maybe less people show up than you're anticipating, and maybe you have to eliminate one of the stations. Maybe someone forgot to bring a material, and now you need to come up with something else to use in that station, or a brand new activity for the station. Maybe it rains, and now your outdoor activity can't be run. You need to be prepared to not be prepared for something to happen. So be ready to improvise if necessary. And those are some tips for the program planning process.